moving, we want to get Portsmouth moving, and we don't feel like any other party is offering the ambition we need. So to start off with ambition, in our costings, we're saying we want a wealth tax on the super rich. So 1% on assets over 10 million and 2% on assets over 1 billion. Further, we want to make polluters pay with a carbon tax. We want to extend the cap on national insurance so that those earning over 50k are paying. And we want to equalize capital gains tax with income tax to make it more fair for those earning off investments. This ambition means we can fund the NHS. So that means 30 billion into the NHS and an extra 20 billion into NHS infrastructure. So that's dentists, hospitals, and GPs. We also want to restore junior doctor pay, and we're proud to be one of the few parties to offer that. Getting the system moving is important. So that's why we're also committed with social care to invest in another 20 billion. We want to fund and pay staff good wages. We want to give free personal care. And going back to the wages, we actually want to give people a £15 minimum wage regardless of age. So that means people can not only get by, but thrive. Further, to support the welfare system, we want to uplift the universal credit by £40 a week and introduce universal basic income so that nobody has to rely on a food bank. With jobs, we want to repeal the harmful legislation on workers being able to strike and demand better for their pay. Insulating homes not only creates jobs, but it brings down emissions, it brings down bills, because at the end of the day, the cheapest bills are those you don't have to pay. We're committed to building 150,000 new social homes a year. And we're committed to building them in the right place for the right price and right for the community. That means investing in local infrastructure. We're also committed in banning no-fault evictions and in protecting the supply of homes. We want to ban the right to buy scheme. For going back to renters, we want to bring in a renters' rights bill so that renters can demand for a safe place to live. And that means demanding for more action on insulation and tackling mold and damp. We want to commit 8 billion to schools and an extra 2 billion to teacher pay. We want to scrap exams, and we want to put a trained mental health professional into all schools. We also want to expand the curriculum on sexual education and other subjects that are really going to support today's youth in adulthood. And given it the ambition it needs, we want to invest 40 billion in tackling the climate emergency, given it the urgency it requires. That also means no new oil and gas licenses and taking energy companies into public ownership. And for nature, we want to take water companies into public ownership and invest back into them to stop the disgusting sewage going into our waters. And in the meantime, that might mean holding water bosses to account for crimes against nature. We think it's important that Portsmouth gets the homes that it so desperately needs, but that shouldn't be at the cost of our green spaces. Taking away green spaces is bad for our health, it's bad for education.
And the full list of candidates for Portsmouth South For the Conservative Party, Signe Biddle. For Labour, Stephen Morgan. For the Liberal Democrats, Charles Murphy. For the Green Party, Elliot Lee. For Reform, Mark Zimmer. And for the Portsmouth Independence Party, Jacob Short.